Yes, g'day YouTubers, it's the Fat Dingo here, and today we're here to talk about Avengers Endgame. It was an amazing, epic film, and yeah, I'm here with two close friends to talk about one of the biggest films of all time, and definitely is going to be one of the biggest films of 2019. As always, I'd like to first introduce ladies first, and Alicia Kingston. If you'd like to tell us all about yourself and some of the work you do in the community.
Yeah, what's going on, YouTubes? Or Commander AK here. I see a little bit about myself. There really isn't that much to tell. AK is a simple creature. She likes simple creature things like this awesome blanket, courtesy of Lady Nancy T, keeping the realm warm, one blanket at a time. Thank you again, my lady, for this awesome gift. You can find me on my channel on pretty much on everybody else's channel in their chat rooms also, because apparently I like to talk a lot. And I know as for this evening, I'll be hanging with the boys here talking about this awesome movie. So let's go ahead and get started.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alicia. And Fandom D Saints, mate, you
Hold,
are.
hold on, hold on a second. Did you by chance start another hangout?
Yeah, it's a new Hangout stream. He had to make a new one.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
That's why I'm not seeing anything start. Okay, my bad. Never mind. Continue.
do apologise. We've had major technical issues here today, so thank you anyone who's still tuning in, because yeah, your patience and commitment to me, my stream here today, is very much appreciated. So yes, so thank you, Alicia, again for your introduction, and Fandom D Saint, please. Let us know about yourself, and I know you're a veteran in the community now, so yeah, please go ahead.
Well, hey y'all, fan B saying here, veteran. Like I don't recall hearing that before, but it's the first. But yes, reactor, recap, reviewer. Can't wait to talk about Marvel's Endgame with you, Andrew and AK. I've been waiting, and finally, Destiny arrives.
Yes, no, well, look, I was very much impressed with this movie. After we all left Infinity War, obviously with a bit of an aching soul, wondering whether we'd ever see our uh, our favorite heroes and characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe again. So yeah. Firstly, just want to get your opinions of Infinity War before we talk about the actual end game. So, Alicia, would you like to go first with any little wrap ups you had with, basically what at the end of Infinity War, what your expectations were going into the end game?
I don't know that I had a whole lot of expectations. The only thing I expected to do, honestly, was cry. I knew there was going to be some sad things along with awesome epicness that we were going to see, and that's pretty much exactly what we got. So yeah.
Fandom.
I was emotional at the end of Infinity War. I was like, damn, who the hell should I be blaming? Should I be blaming freaking Thor because he didn't aim for the head? Should I be blaming Peter Quill for not killing Gamora when
It's
he had the chance?
always Peter Quill. Star-Lord did that dumb shit.
Like,
The
damn,
bastard.
that just had to damn happen. And I was like, yo, when Endgame comes, like Doctor Strange, he foresaw, he said, yo, there's that one way we can, come out of this. And when that does happen, I cannot wait to see it, because I don't know who truly deserves it. Maybe that's what AK another series she might do who deserves in like other franchises, besides, Game of Thrones that she's doing with Johnny B. Crazy on his damn channel. Shameless plug there. But yeah, like just hurry up. I need Endgame to happen. We've been waiting for like what, a year? Pretty much for Endgame to come out and tell us, okay, what's gonna be the follow-up? How they're gonna do. And just the first few minutes of freaking Endgame was like, damn, they put you right back in those fields, but specifically with Hawkeye there.
Oh, most definitely. Look, I have never really in the Marvel universe been more sad than watching Hawkeye lose his family at the start of Endgame. Like, we just watched all those loved characters all disappear in Infinity War, and then got to see a few extra, obviously, in Ant-Man and the Wasp. When that was released a couple months later, with coinciding timelines. So yeah, I mean, Clint and Hawkeye, it was definitely a favorite character of mine. It was good to see him in the Ronin costume and being the badass that he really is. Firstly, yeah, Alicia, your thoughts on the opening scene with Clinton and his family?
First thought was, damn, already? Like, why? I knew it was going to be heavy hitting, but why do you have to come at my feelings? We're not even 2 minutes into this, and already you're showing me like some of the saddest shit that any parent could ever go through. Just ugh. I mean, I was ready, but I wasn't ready. Like, I knew we were going to have to see something from Hawkeye because they were going to have to explain why he went rogue and went into the Ronin persona. But I mean, that was my first thought. It was like, damn, already. Like, can we, little jokey joke first? But no, they went right for the feels, and they stuck us with the pointy end right out the gate.
Very, very good analysis there. Yeah, as a very emotional scene to one of my very favorite characters, and you found it also very emotional. Do you want to elaborate any further on that, or you think you're done with that, fandom?
Yeah, I guess it was before. It was very emotional first thing in. Like I said, like less than 2 minutes in, they just show us that Hawkeye thing. And the way what happened, I think he was just doing something. He turns around and he doesn't even see his family. He just sees his wife and kids. And he's like, what the hell's going on? So just to then just find out that pretty much half of the world's population, I should say the world, but the universe at this point was gone. And then he just goes into that persona of Ronin.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, I was really happy that they went down that track because it shows a person going from one extreme in life to the other. Because he's always been an anti-hero in the story, but this time he was a hard-hitting anti-hero because he needed to go out and seek redemption for all the people that did survive that shouldn't have survived when he lost everything in life. So I found this part of the story next, quite hard hitting as well. What did you think of Natasha having to hunt down Clint to try and bring him back, to the light again? This time, fandom, you want to go first?
It was good seeing that because it seemed like, I forgot like what part. I think it was like after their whole Thanos mission in the beginning. Like she's been like looking for him for like almost like 5 years or so. It's just like damn, this guy's been like that. I'm not sure specifically how long he's been in the persona, but it seems like she's been like looking for him to the point that I don't know if she ever confirmed whether or not he was like alive or dead. So even then, she was giving her feels even more because she knows that the dude lost his wife and kids, and who knows like how messed up it actually brought him. And then when she finally finds him, it's like right in the middle of his damn mission where he's like killing that boss in Japan, which is ridiculous.
Definitely. And Alicia, your thoughts on where the Hawkeye Ronin story goes, and Natasha being the one to try and bring him in and dangle the opportunity of hope in front of him.
Tasha's the only person that could have done it. I mean, from the very beginning, they have had that, bestie bond. There's no one else that could have gone out there and talked to Hawkeye. He might have let them get close enough to talk to him, but then he would just ghost them like that. But Tasha, no. Tasha's the only one that could have actually, I mean, not only did she find him, but she legit, ninjaed her secret spy way in there and snuck up on him. And, she did exactly what she went out there to do. And like I said, I think she's the only person that could have done it, because Hawkeye would not have listened to anybody else. Even if they would have told him the exact same thing that she said, it would have went in one ear and out the other. Yeah, it had to be Tasha that went to get him.
Absolutely, totally agree with you in relation to Natasha being the one. There is no one on the entire Avengers team or in the world apart from his own wife and children that Clint would hold so dear in his heart, and it's just such a beautiful bond, and we know this to be the case later, but we're not going to talk about that yet.
Yeah, there's one other thing I actually forgot about. Tasha isn't going to him just to give him hope. She also has a little bit of hope for it herself, because she's not just close to Hawkeye. She was very close to his family as well. Like, their youngest kid is named for her. So I think it's very fitting that Tasha went to go get him. So it's not just, we can try to go get your family back. It's we can try to go get our family back.
Absolutely. Very, very good point there, Alicia. Now, we have jumped a little bit going ahead talking about Hawkeye's storyline, but we need to go back to we start the story with what's his name, Iron Man and Nebula, lost off in space. Now they're returning to Earth from the mission that we saw in Infinity War, which who stuffed it up, a lot of people are saying Peter Quill on this panel here, I believe. No, but anyway, yeah, from their failed mission in space, and we see a very emotional scene of none other than Tony Stark talking to his Iron Man mask, which has obviously got cameras in it to be able to speak with Pepper Pot, not live, but as a video message when the ship eventually does get to Earth. But they're running out of oxygen and food, and they're in that very tight position of about to die, and who none other than Captain Marvel comes out of nowhere to save the ship and bring it to Earth. Your thoughts on that, Alicia?
I honestly had a small bit of hope that it would be Pepper that actually finally got in a suit and went and rescued Tony. But it makes sense that it was Captain Marvel, because when it comes to, you know, the big heavy rescue things, then that's when you got to call Carol in. That's what she's good at. So I thought that was awesome. And you know, once the meaningful messages that Tony was recording for Pepper, and those were absolutely cute. Again, they're coming at our feels right from the beginning. I like the whole interaction that I saw with Tony and Nebula. Like, Nebula has really grown as a character, and I love seeing like the little tiny ways that she was taking care of him. You know, when they're running out of food, and you know she doesn't need as much food because of how her body is now, so she would just, you know, slightly push it away, and I'll go on, Tony, you take care of that. If you know he falls out on the floor, she picks him up, covers him up, and whatnot. And I just thought that was really cool. I kind of wish we would have seen a little bit more of Rocket in the beginning there, but I get it. You know, Rocket's probably sitting in the corner, also upset about his family being gone. So I could understand that. Are we going to when right up to when they get back, when Carol brings them back? Yeah. Okay. I thought it was, again, getting stabbed in the damn heart. The first thing Tony thinks about when he gets off that plane is, I lost the kid. Like, damn it, Tony, we're already fucking sad, bruh. As soon as he said that, I just, my heart clenched. Like, damn, like how much growth has Tony had? The showboat, you know, guy that this man is, and the first thing he's worried about now is, damn it, the kid's dead, and it's my fault. And I loved it. I'm gonna start crying right now, so I'm gonna shut up.
It was an emotion. This whole film was damn emotional, you know, back and forth. Just like when you thought everything was getting cool, bam, something hit you with the damn emotions. And again, we saw like that mission between, not the mission, the well, them trying to like return back to Earth, and you can see how it's taking a toll on Tony's body. Like he's just withering clearly away, almost a skin and bone. I was like, damn. Looking back at the trailers to this, like they even like showcase like how thin he was actually getting. It was kind of good. Like he was bringing up, like, you know, Nebula's like a cyborg, so she doesn't even like need that much food. But even then, I think it was like what, 23 days or so. They're out there in space and just drifting, trying to like get back. I was kind of hoping, because like Rocket's on Earth, and it was like the Guardian ship. I thought they had like a type of like, you know, beacon or something so you can actually locate and like get to them. I'm guessing it just like turned off or whatever though. But other than that, again, it was emotional. Then you have him like returning, and you see pretty much Pepper was there at the Avengers facility, like there pretty much day after day. It's like, okay, when can I see my husband? Is he alive? And it's just the impending. Like they don't even know that some of the Guardians and which we'll call it Peter was like vanished, if he lived or he died or whatnot. That was another thing. So the moment he even touches down, he lets people know, yeah, the kid just didn't survive. So it was just crazy, man. It would have been crazy if we had like Aunt Meg. I don't think she got finger snapped. Like it would be crazy, like she was there and it was like, wait a minute, so Peter is dead, and like that would have been like even like, another like sad moment for them.
That actually just reminded me of something. If you watch Tony from the very beginning of this in Iron Man 1, and after he created the suit and, you know, he had the actual chest plate in, his health is slowly declining. Through every movie you see him in, there's something he's very subtly battling, all the way up until now we get to this and we see like this final toll that this last journey has put him on. But Robert Downey Jr. has been very, very good in how he's played Tony. If you go back and look at it, you probably didn't notice. If you go back and look from all the way down through here, there's some little ailment that Tony is battling, and you'll start to see the pattern very easily now that you know to look for it.
No, yeah, I totally agree with. Yeah, I noticed in the first three films, especially the different health issues in his storyline. But yeah, definitely, I'll be looking at that more closely next time I do the rewatch. AK, thanks for that insight. So yeah. Luckily, Captain Marvel does save the day, and we do get Iron Man returned to planet Earth, and the Avengers that do survive the snap have to get together to work out a plan to take on Thanos, and they discover that the Infinity Stones left a significant seismic type reaction in the atmosphere, so they were able to track its use in another galaxy, which is known as the Garden, and we know this because Nebula tells us that's where Thanos always planned on retiring to. So yeah, leading into that scene, Alicia, how about you give your thoughts on that particular scene and what comes just after that? Huh?
Thanos in the garden. First of all, Thanos, you asshole. A whole planet, bruh. A whole fucking ass planet. You have to get so you can deal with whatever your freaking stupid feels are after your snap. Come on, bruh. That's just greedy. Just freaking greedy. But anyways, the meeting they had, honestly, it was cool. Just to see them interact and to see Tasha, actually, this is where we're at. I am picking the correct spot where Tasha is talking to everybody on the screens. Okay. This movie showed, I mean, we'd seen it coming up to this point, but this movie in particular, I think, showed the growth of each character. And here, Tasha is the one that has taken the lead and is directing everyone. And it's very rare, very, very rare that we see the types of emotions from Black Widow that were shown in that scene. After she gets off the line with them and she's sitting and she's thinking about everything, and she has just that moment where she breaks into tears. Like it's taken that much of a toll on her. Like, you want to know what makes Black Widow cry? This all this heavy fuck shit that's going on here is what it takes, because oof, I couldn't imagine having to try to deal with that. Your friends and family are gone except these few select people, but you can't even always be near them. They're out trying to, take care of random things to Carol, who's even out bouncing around planet to planet because there's extremely random shit that's happening there as well. So how do you keep all of that together and truly stay sane without breaking down? It's an extremely heavy situation to be in, and kudos to Scarlett Johansson for playing it the way she did. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, look, I absolutely loved the scenes with Scarlett Johansson or Black Widow talking with everyone, being the leader of the pack, so to speak. So yeah, I thought it was an empowering scene for her, because she was a powerful woman, and she's been in this story since Iron Man 2. So she's been around, right since Phase 1, and she deserves to get these strong moments, in my opinion. And I believe that they're currently making a Black Widow prequel.
Yeah, the prequel movie.
Yeah. So I'm very, very much looking forward to that, because I love her as a character, and I think she really did shine in this movie. Fandom, your thoughts of of Thanos in the garden and
Mhm.
Black Widow's as the leader of the pack. All those scenes. Give us a go.
For starters, just hearing this all again, like from Iron Man 2 to now, and to learn like later on within the film she dies, it's like, damn. Like when you're even watching this for the first time, like you even know like who's gonna live or die. And like you're just like rethinking, like even when I watched it the second time, it's like she gave it her all during her final performance as Black Widow. And hopefully, I believe again doing pre. I don't know if it's gonna be the same actress or unless they're gonna get another actress to play a younger version, bro. I'm not even 100% sure though. But just damn,
I think they are
just
using
damn.
Scarlett Johansson.
There are so
Yeah,
it's not a
she's
last
gonna be in
performance.
it, but I think we're gonna have some moments where there probably is a younger actress cast for like the Red Room work back in the day. But we'll
Okay.
see. Maybe they might CGI her. We don't know.
Could do.
Okay. So other than that, about the whole garden thing, before that, Tony breaking down again because from all the stuff that was happening to him, he's like, "Well, we're done." To the point that he didn't even want to go to the garden to even like help out. He was like, he was just simply just done. Then he hands freaking Captain America like his Iron Man suit that he had at the time. He says, "Hell, you want to go at it? You go with it." And then you can see in the corner like Thor is still freaking depressed because he was pretty much like the last person to actually go up against Thanos before the finger snap, and he feels more guilty out of all of them there. But the moment they hear like, "Oh, this is where the dude is at," that he just, after doing the finger snap, he just wants to chillax at the freaking Garden Planet. Okay, let's go find him then. And they pretty much did. Besides like Tony, but they're pretty much ready to go. And just if I don't know if you can just continue going on there, Andrew, where you just talk about like how they went there and learned that he used the stones again, I guess just to create the planet or just do something. Oh yeah. Well, we didn't even know at the time what he used the stones for. And then we learned
He
that he
used the
pretty much
stones to
destroyed them.
destroy them. Yeah, like
Yeah, it was like,
just
damn.
why? Fucking Thanos, man.
Like, it made sense, like he just used them so like no one else can like undo it or anything. And it's like, okay, I get that whole thing, whatever. But damn, it really took like a toll on him because he pretty much was like almost dead from the
Yeah, he was
exposure of him
damn
just
near
using
dead
them.
from it also, right? Like you have no use of your one hand now, and half of your face and chest is scarred. It looks like it hurts for you to breathe, but you think that it was your destiny to collect these stones and kill a bunch of people, then fuck off to a damn planet so you can be a farmer. No, no, young man, I need you to not with all that nonsense. But actually going back to Tony, his little rant that he have wherein he was like, Cap, yeah, you said, you were supposed to be here. Where the fuck were you? I mean, yeah, Cap was in the fight too. However, there was still that background stuff going on that they never really got resolved, and all of that came out as Tony is in his grief and just he went so hard in that argument that he legit passed out. Like, damn. Robert Downey Jr. is one of the best freaking actors on this team.
Yeah, like he did a great performance in this movie, and I was loving how him and Pepper were living. By the lake. Is that like an American dream? Living by a lake, or most people prefer the beach? I don't know. I prefer a lake. I reckon. It gives it a little camp, Crystal Lake kind of feeling.
Who wants to go camp by Crystal Lake, Andy? What are you talking about here?
What's there enough horror movies to get a place by the lake or the woods?
I'm good on that. Nah,
you get to buy the land cheap if there's been some murders on it. So yeah. Bring on the murders. More the merrier. Yeah. Anyway, so so Avengers assemble. So we get all the original Avengers. Just so happen to survive the snap. What's the coincidence of that, eh? Yeah, the
That's
original.
called plot armor.
Yeah.
They
Wow.
survived because they needed to survive to move this second plot along. and I'm here for it. Not a complaint, just a statement.
Well, I mean, I was extremely happy that the original six did survive. I was definitely unhappy that Wanda didn't survive, simply because I'm a big fan of Wanda. The more she's on camera, the better. But
I can understand that. I can understand that.
yeah, celebrity crush. So yeah. Anyway, Scarlet Witch, Halloween. If yeah, that's the best costume you could go as. Anyway, so I was very, very happy with the Avengers to reassemble, and we got a very angry Thor that first cut off the gauntlet that was attached to almost corpsey style arm of Thanos, and later he decapitates him, takes his head off. So he gets very angry with him. Your thoughts on this, BBM?
This time he aimed for the damn head. At this point, it was just pretty much just like payback at this point. Because again, even though they couldn't use the stones again, he's like, you know what, F this thing, and he cuts off his head, but he didn't get that full satisfaction because granted, they did just kill off Thanos, but it's not gonna bring anyone back. And we see later on within the film when we get to it, that the depression still hits him, not only just him, but pretty much everyone there throughout the galaxy. Like what Thanos did, on a cosmic scale, just put everyone in a depression.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Thor, when he went in, he basically, it's like he said to himself, he has one job, and that is to aim for the head. He held his anger in check just long enough to figure out what happened to the stones, and then he was like, okay, you're fucking done. And I mean, what else would you expect Thor to do? Honestly, there was nothing else to be learned, nothing else to be gained from interacting with Thanos at that point because he did no longer had the stones. So yeah, that was a wrap. What's the next plan?
Totally. I loved watching Thor's quick reaction to first remove the arm or so arm and the gauntlet, and then remove the head as soon as he had the opportunity, and Thanos was no longer relevant. Okay, we don't need you anymore. Boom, bang, the head comes off. Um, wasn't enough purple blood but I mean the House of Mouse
it's
is
PG-13 over
yeah,
here.
I
So
know.
yeah, exactly.
They have a quota of blood that they can fill. They cannot go over that quota. That's it.
House of Mouse. Anyway, so yes, and unfortunately, the Infinity Stones have been completely destroyed, and there is absolutely, at this point in time, nothing that the Avengers can do. So the Avengers end up, some of them continue to work in the Avengers under Black Widow as a leader, and others, such as Iron Man, he doesn't stay with the group. He does his own thing for quite a period of time. So we meet a lot of the characters 5 years later down the track in very different states of mind than what they were 5 years before. One of those characters happened to be Thor. Now, Thor, we get to go to New Asgard, and it's happens to be here on Earth in the Netherlands, and we get to see a much different Thor in this film, and we get to actually see that Valkyrie survived the snap. Yay for Valkyrie! I love Valkyrie. She's an awesome character. She did a great job in Thor Ragnarok. I was hoping to get to see more of her in battle. Yeah, in other films. It's a shame that we also don't have Lady Sif anymore in the franchise. I was hoping she would make a cameo appearance in this film, but that unfortunately didn't happen. So yeah, your thoughts, fandom?
So yeah, like one just seeing like New Asgard on Earth, it was kind of like remind me of the comic book because the same situation happened there where they had to like relocate to Earth for the time being there, and to see that Valkyrie, yeah, she survived the damn snap. That was like one of the things that we all were wondering when we was watching Infinity War, what happened to Valkyrie and the Rock dude, a dumb little friend, I can't remember his name, and it's like okay, whatever happened to them, but now we learn that I think they announced that like a few days after Infinity War. They were like, yeah, Valkyrie and people like they were able to take at least some of the surviving Asgardians during the attack and like go away. And I guess they just went to Earth. And I kind of wish thinking about it that Valkyrie could have like played a part like in like the mission that we get later on within the movie, but it seems like by the end of it when Thor is like, yeah, you should be like the queen, and it makes sense because when he was in his depression she was pretty much was running everything, so it was pretty much good to have that.
Yep. Yeah. No. I absolutely love the actress that plays Valkyrie too.
Oh
She's
yeah, she's in Westworld. Yeah,
she's
there
in
we go.
Westworld.
So yeah.
Yeah. She's done a damn good job in Westworld too. Like I was a big fan of the first season of Westworld. Second season was pretty average in my opinion. Some people loved it. Um, but I am looking forward to watching the third season just because I don't believe I'm giving up on it yet just because one season wasn't my cup of tea. I'm hoping they can bring back the brilliance of what we saw in season one. But yeah. Alicia, we were talking about New Asgard. Um, your thoughts on that and the brand new Thor that we got?
New Asgard. I liked New Asgard. They went to Norway, and that makes nothing but all of the sense for Asgardians to make a new home in a Slavic nation. Um, Tessa Thompson is always awesome, always looking great, and I was very happy to see that Valkyrie did make it. I did hear what you were saying about Sif, and I feel like if they really, really would have wanted to, they could have found a reason to have Sif in there. So it kind of sucks that they couldn't snag Jamie Alexander, or maybe they didn't even think about adding her, which boo to them if they didn't. But then we get to the Big Lebowski Thor, and yeah, there really isn't a whole lot to be said about Big Lebowski Thor. He's there. That's pretty much all you can say. He is there to drink and forget his troubles because, like everyone else, he is still grieving. And this is the only way that he can grieve and survive, and things can somewhat make sense for him. Shoot, I was just about to say something I forgot. Oh, my new favorite meme actually is all about Thor, and it's Thor from like Thor 1 and Thor 2, where he's in his awesome armor with the hammer, and above it says, "This is Lord Robert Baratheon," and then we get to the Big Lebowski Thor, and it says King Robert Baratheon, and I've never seen a more accurate meme in my life. Kudos to the person that made that.
True, true. And damn, why did they put Fortnite in this damn movie? I was enjoying myself. Then we see him playing freaking Fortnite in the
Yeah,
background. I'm
I
like,
really
what?
don't. I don't buy that any of them would actually like Fortnite. Like, they could have had them playing something better. Damn it. God of War. That's what they should have been playing.
Yeah, no, well, Fat Thor was really unattractive, but quite hilarious. So throughout the film, so very different for Chris Hemsworth, and I'm sure a lot of ladies were disappointed that they didn't get their regular sexy Chris Hemsworth that they were used to getting.
He does. Chris Hemsworth does comedy very well, though. So I was really happy to see actually what they did with this, and I'm looking forward to him and Valkyrie in Men in Black. I think they're gonna do awesome.
Yeah, no, me too. I'm looking forward to the next Guardians of the Galaxy. I can tell you that without talking about it yet. But fingers crossed, guys. I think it's going to be pretty epic film. So yeah. Times have changed, obviously, with a 5-year jump, and half of the human race and half of anything in the universe had completely been obliterated. We go to a scene in a storage facility where none other than the time machine van owned by Hank Pym. Well, the time machine is owned by Hank Pym. The van, isn't it Ant-Man's friend that owns the van? Or,
yeah, I think that was what's his name, Luis's van.
That is it. That is it. Thank you very much, Alicia. So yeah, and all of a sudden we see the van that had the time machine locked in there, and a rat happens to, or a mouse walks over the control panel to it, and it activates and brings back Ant-Man into the storage facility, and we see a cameo by the guy from Community. He was the security guard there. So Ant-Man came back from the quantum realm, and he goes looking for his daughter, and finds that she does survive the snap, and she's 5 years older, and nice little emotional scene of them getting together, and then Ant-Man goes off to look for the Avengers to inform them of none other than the quantum realm and the possibility of manipulating or traveling through time. So, Alicia, what are your thoughts that it comes down to quantum realms and time traveling?
I theorized at the end of Infinity Game that, or Infinity War, that's what was going to have to happen. You don't introduce something as big as the quantum realm if it's not going to have a big payoff in the end. So I am definitely glad that that's what ended up having to happen. I do find it a bit comical that a random ass rat had to walk by so we can get Ant-Man back in the game from the quantum realm. So I had a little chuckle at that. When he came out though, and like he had his little wagon and was walking through the streets, it was so reminiscent of episode 1 of The Walking Dead for me, with Rick coming out the hospital and looking around and wondering what the fuck is happening. And Scott, he had that same aura about him. Like the one random kid riding through the neighborhood, he was like, "Yo, dude, what the hell happened here? Where is everyone? Why does the world look like this right now?" He was stuck in there for 5 years. 5 years just in frozen in time. For him, I think it was only maybe like an hour or so, but to come back out and 5 hours, and then to come back out and your whole world is gone. how do you physically cope with that and mentally, cope with that, especially, and he's a parent, so obviously his first thought once he sees what's happening is his daughter. Luckily for him, he was actually able to find her. I don't know. I am not a parent, but I have many tiny humans that I love and care about. I could not imagine what my world would be like if I lost any of them. So, oof, like I can understand how emotional he was trying to figure out where his daughter was. It was a good scene to see.
Oh, absolutely gut wrenching. Like I don't have children either, and I have 3 nephews and a niece, and I have some twin nephews and nieces on the way. Or what nephews? I don't know. It could be anything. But if anything happened to any of them, I would be absolutely devastated. And being an uncle, I'd give my life for any one of them. So yeah, when it comes to kids, it's very emotional. uh, your thoughts, fandom?
So yeah, like before we even got to Endgame, and then we saw Infinity War. Then it was like Ant-Man and Wasp came out. I was like, okay, this quantum realm thing, maybe some type of whatever it is. I'm guessing that's gonna be how we're gonna like fix the whole, Thanos snap thing. And they pretty much got that with Ant-Man coming through, and it was kind of like that point where he's like, okay, what in the world happened? He asks that kid, then you see him like go to that mural to see, okay, who in the world is alive and dead. He was just reading the names, like, okay, like, is his daughter there? Is his daughter? Then he like goes home and he realized that, okay, his daughter was alive, which is actually pretty good, to see that his daughter was there. And it's kind of even like more emotional for her because her mom got finger snap, her father-in-law got finger snap, and it's like she assumes that, okay, her father must be dead as well. So when the moment he rings that doorbell and she approaches, like, oh my gosh, you're actually alive, which was actually pretty good there. At least it was like some like happiness within this freaking depressing film. It's like, okay, father reunites with his daughter, and then she pretty much like gets the whole information about what the hell has been happening, which for us has been like 5 years, but for him it was 5 damn hours. It's like, what? Which pretty much then just include this whole time travel thing where it's like, yeah, we can't, have the stones anymore. It's gone. But what if we time travel and get these damn stones and then do the finger? So I was like, okay, let's go.
It was the old man in the shop from Coming to America all over again. Yeah. Aha! Aha!
Right from the moment the Infinity Stones were gathered and finger snap happened, I completely, totally thought that time travel was going to be the only way to fix this. And I didn't know exactly how we were going to time travel. I didn't know whether, did Doctor Strange set a time trap? Did the someone else use the time stone later in life to bring it back to this point? Is there the quantum realm was given to us as an option in Ant-Man and the Wasp. So it definitely was something that I was thinking. And the other thing that I was wondering was, could Captain Marvel time travel? And I didn't know too much about what extra things that she was going to bring to the equation in this movie. But yeah, I always definitely backed the whole it was going to be fixed through time travel. They couldn't completely wipe that amount of people out completely for forever. Um, so yeah, that's definitely my opinion on the middle there. So yeah, any more thoughts, Alicia, on the middle of the film?
I think we could move on unless you got something else, David.
No, we can move on.
All right. So the guy, the guys obviously learn about time travel. We get Professor Hulk. Now, thoughts on Professor Hulk? I absolutely love that we got him. I Mark Ruffalo to me is a very great actor in the role of the Hulk. I've watched obviously Eric Banner and Edward Norton play this role previously, as well as the television series. But we won't even go there. But I just did not like either Edward Norton or Eric Banner in the role of the Hulk, and I really wish that Mark Ruffalo was the original Hulk in the film that Universal Studios made. But finally getting Professor Hulk, I was wondering when we would eventually get Professor Hulk, and this happened to be the movie that we did get him, and I love the merged. Hulk and Banner personality being displayed. Obviously, it's costing him a lot in CGI every time he's on camera, but and yeah. Anyway, I think he did very well. Your thoughts on that, fandom?
So yeah, even though we got Professor Hulk and he was done well, I was disappointed a bit because I was hoping for, our, Hulk persona to get some payback from what happened in Infinity War. Because Infinity War, we only had that like one scene with the Hulk in the beginning. He got his ass whooped. Every time Banner tried like, turn back, it never happened. So pretty much was, Bruce Banner throughout the friggin' the film, and then he goes into, the Hulkbuster thing. And then I was hoping that within this film, you're gonna finally get, the Hulk that we knew since, Incredible Hulk, you want to go that far, even though it wasn't by the same actor and thing. And like get that payback. And like when we actually get like the final battle, he was gonna go like one-on-one with Thanos and whip his ass. But they didn't give us that. So I was like, ah, damn. Really? Just really? But instead, we got the whole Professor Vanna thing, which not gonna lie, there was some moments where it was kind of comical with both with him and Scott within certain scenes, so I did enjoy that. So it was okay. Even though I didn't get it, it was still done well and I accept it, but still. But when Andrew did bring up the point where it's like the cost of CGI, so I just do wonder, was that like kind of like the reason why? Because everything else in this film was like CGI heavy to the point that I guess they decided just to do Professor Hulk for the situation there, because he really did like rage out or even fight within this film as like in other films.
Yeah, I really enjoyed seeing Professor Hulk. Actually, it's the merge of Banner's brain and Hulk's strength only made sense. I'm honestly confused as to why it took Banner that long to try to actually merge. But like he said, he was looking at it like it was a disease versus looking at it like it could actually be cured. So now they both are elevated by this new persona. And I love the bit of comedy that they gave to him, like when they did their first jump back to when they first formed the Avengers, and he had to go through and blend in. And he's looking at stuff, smash, smash, hard. And that was brilliant. I thought that was awesome, and I love the way that Mark Ruffalo played that.
I was giggling like a little girl so much during that session. I couldn't believe it when I was watching. He's like, "Arr, arr." It was hilarious. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm very glad they went, as I said, that they did Professor Hulk. Now. The team obviously has to try to work out how to time travel. There's a lot of pop culture references in this towards like Back to the Future and stuff like that, which is a film series that I'm a big fan of. But yeah, they do reference just about every single time travel film ever made in this movie, and the team end up getting these quantum soups, not soups, suits made when they can convince Tony Stark and use some of the design that Professor Hulk had also been working on to be able to time travel. They build this big oval thing that they had to all stand on, and yeah, we're able to use Pym particles to travel through time, to be able to collect the Infinity Stones at random points in time that were, well, not random, but chosen points in time where they would know that where the Infinity Stones would be. And 3 of those happened to be in New York City, and that was during the first Avengers movie. And those stones were the Mind Stone, the Space Stone, and the Time Stone. Yes. And anyway, so we do get to return to New York during that battle. And as Alicia said before, we get to see some giggling moments with the Professor Hulk pretending to be raged up Hulk. And yeah, I will let Fandom talk about his favorite moments about the Avengers return to New York City. So you can talk about any of the moments from either Professor Hulk, Iron Man, or Captain America, what they were doing, and Ant-Man, of course. So they were the 4 that were in New York City.
Yeah, that was a good like fan service, call back to the very first Avengers movie. Not even that though, like real the great joke of all of them was between Professor Hulk raging out to America's ass. Like really, Tony commenting on Captain America's ass, and then Scott, not Hank. Scott was like, "Oh, don't be afraid. Like that's freaking America's ass there." They pretty much like did a whole joke on that throughout that whole time, traveling like boy within the film to them figure out a way to get the Space Stone and the Mind Stone as well, which was interesting there. And they were successful in getting the Mind Stone, where Captain America faced off against his past self and getting it. And I do love how someone like memed it, where the moment where Captain sees his past self, like someone like put like the musical score of Us and pretended it that Captain's actually meeting his shadow. I was like, brilliant there. And yeah, and them two fighting, and he's like, oh, I can do this all day. But even before then, we even get the call back to Winter Soldier, how when Captain was like in that elevator, and then they're like, wait, he needs to get the Mind Stone staff from Hydra, because he knows like in the future, like yeah, we find out that those gentlemen that's in that elevator is Hydra. Then he just whispers over, it's like Hail Hydra, and they just give it to him. It was like a callback from the comics when we see like Captain America is like working for Hydra there. I was like, yo, they're really hitting like these Easter eggs and stuff. And I'm surprised I actually caught on like a whole bunch of this stuff on the first watch. Because normally during either I go home and like look up a video and like find all these Easter eggs I really didn't get to miss. And just seeing how a lot of them I was catching on, like, oh, like again, if you watch all these films in a span of 10 years, the payoff tremendously within this film, very great. And it was interesting enough that trying to get the Space Stone, Loki escapes. I was like, what? So it's like, okay, how the hell are they now gonna get this? Because they're just running low on that Hank Pym's like serum there, and it's like there's another place that we can go to get him. So are you with me, Cap? And then it's like pretty much Tony and Cap gets to go back into the past even more to figure, okay, when can we actually get the stone? Which is quite interesting. Again, like during the first half of the film, it was slow at certain points, but it immediately when you're doing, this time travel, it really picked up again.
The the scene definitely was quite hilarious when Cap was checking out his own ass. After Ant-Man had been like, yeah, that's America's ass, and then he's looking at his own ass and he's like, oh, that is America's ass. I had a real giggle there. I'm very glad that, with all the action that was going on, and we're watching a lot of trickery going on, and then they throw the comedy in there too. Like, I think any time that Ant-Man's in it, they're going to have comedy in it because that story, like both Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp and Captain America: Civil War, and now Endgame have all got that comedy aspects to it because of Ant-Man. The other comedy people I find is definitely the Guardians of the Galaxy, and most recently Thor. After being such a serious character originally, they've developed him quite well in this film. But yeah. So, Alicia, your thoughts on the Avengers in New York City? So that's Ant-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, and Professor Hulk.
All right, yeah. So Professor Hulk, the very beginning of him, I already said I liked, but when he went to get the time stone, I was expecting him to maybe come up with an earlier version of Doctor Strange, but instead they oh goodness, what was her name? The Ancient One. They gave us the Ancient One instead. And first of all, Hulk, I understand that you're on a mission and that you need this item, but one does not simply go up to the Ancient One and say, "Give me this now." No. And what was the result? She knocked the fucking soul out of that guy, and it was awesome to see. He's like, "Oh yeah, I wasn't asking." She just looked at him like, okay, clearly I asked for that the wrong way. Maybe we need to talk and go about this a different way. Yeah, Bruce, you think? So yeah, I really enjoyed their interaction and the way she explained how, alternate realities could come into play if you actually do take the stones out from where they are. But then, Bruce came up with a fix because the guy's a thinker like that. He can actually see and understand everything that she was saying. And I just really like seeing that character back. I wish that we would have gotten her for longer than we did in the Doctor Strange movie. So this was a really, really cool cameo for them to give her. And, Steve having to fight himself, it actually made me think of the Mortal Kombat movie when Liu Kang had like his final trials near the end of the movie, and one of them was face yourself. And of course, old school Cap, he's gonna come in and he sees himself. He doesn't even flinch. He's like, "Yeah, I got Loki on this floor. I'll be back down with him in a minute." And of course, you try to explain, "I'm not Loki." Old Steve Rogers, he's not gonna hear that. No, he thinks he is always right and he is always about the business. So they start fighting, of course. And Cap knows himself well enough to know that when he got hemmed up, all he had to say was, "Bucky's still alive." And that would completely throw the younger Captain America off his game. And he was right. When they were in the elevator scene, for a half a second, I thought he was going to say, "So before we get started, does anybody want to get out?" But they did it even better. And he just said, "Hail Hydra." And I was like, "Oh, yes," for the fucking comic book references. Yes. I thought that was one of the most epic freaking things. It was a 2-second line, and I absolutely adored it. Hulk, again, having to deal with the damn stairs. Hulk don't like stairs. I get it, but damn, did you have to rage out and be that mad about the fucking stairs to where you legit fucked up the damn plan? Tony had his shit clean. It was done. He was almost out, but then here comes Hulk. Fucking stairs. You know what it reminded me of? Data in the Goonies. When he started talking about how everybody's always messing about his inventions and whatnots, and he starts ranting, that's what Hulk sounded like. He just was going off the cuff. And Loki, of course, always scheming, always paying attention, truly paying attention to his surroundings. He saw when the damn thing went, when the briefcase went flying, and he turned around to look, and then he looked back like, wait, nobody else is seeing this shit? But of course, he doesn't signal. He doesn't say anything because he wants to see. He's a schemer. He wants to see what the hell is going to happen and if whatever plan is in motion is going to work. And because he's sitting there and paying attention, he ends up seeing the Tesseract. It's like, wait, no, there's no hands on me. Oh, yoink, boom, gone. So now we know that Loki has a show coming up on the Disney streaming channel. That's where he's going to poof to, and he's going to have the Tesseract with him. So I am looking forward to seeing where those adventures are going to take him. Let's see, what else was there in New York? Am I missing anything? Oh, I think that was it. Oh, the America's ass. Even I can admit that Chris Evans has a nice ass. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm glad they referenced it finally. Really, I am. Kid has a nice ass. Lord Commander's an ass person. I fully admit it. I'm glad they put it in there and they highlighted it because seriously, it's been how many movies people have been talking about Chris's ass off screen, but and now it's just been said. So yeah, he's fucking right. That is America's ass. Kudos to you, Captain. Kudos to you.
Yes, the ass of America. But yes, no, I absolutely love this part of the film. Watching these four Avengers, I was very impressed with the Professor Hulk and Ancient One scene. It was great to see. I do not know her name.
Tilda Swinton, I believe.
That's it. Thank you very much.
And I actually forgot something. When you're done, I'll
yeah. So yeah, I was always disappointed we were only going to get one film with Doctor Strange, but obviously we got her in a previous time there. But yeah, okay, go ahead.
When they figured out they needed more PIM particles, when Captain Tony actually regrouped, and he was like, "Okay, I know where some are, but we're going to have to go back and do this thing now." And when they went further back in time, I thought the interaction with Tony and his dad were some of the best. More heart-wrenching. They can't stop punching us right in the feels with this, and we know how Tony felt about his dad growing up, and even into his adult years, he didn't fully understand how much his dad actually loved him until he really started coming into his own and figuring stuff out. And he saw that message that his dad left them on tape. So I to see them interact and to see how vulnerable Howard was, how worried he was about what type of father he was going to be, if he was going to mess the kid up, or he hoped that Tony wouldn't turn out like him. But Tony's like, no, that wouldn't be such a bad thing if it happened. I thought that was great. And then the little bit of time that Steve got to see Peggy, I thought was awesome. Like I almost thought for a second she was going to turn and look at him, but she didn't. And I just think it's always a cool cameo when I see Haley Atwater walk on the screen. I loved her in that role. I wish that the Peggy Carter show was still on, because I thought it was great for the couple seasons that it got. And they gave us a little Jarvis cameo also during that time. And I thought that whole thing was spectacular.
I never seen the series. I should eventually see the Peggy Carter series. Yeah, and it was a good, like you were saying, it was a good touching, seeing Tony talk to his dad, because the last time they ever spoke, they had that argument. So just having that, go full circle there, and then he got to hug him, like, finally, finally. Even though
But
he
then
didn't know, he
Howard
kind
was
of
looking
had
at
a
him like,
like,
why you hugging me, dude?
Oh my gosh, it was crazy though, very crazy.
Yeah, there were so many callbacks in these time jump scenes, and I loved every bit of them. They did great.
Yeah, no, well, I did like the time jump to get to see young Howard Stark and the interaction with his son. And yeah, I love Peggy Carter. She's an excellent character, and I would have liked to seen more of her. And I wish her show had gone longer, but I haven't actually started to watch it yet. But I'm sure that I'm going to enjoy it because based on what I've seen from her so far. But yeah, that the Jarvis thing, I wasn't aware of. He was an actor in the TV show, but I just knew that that's who Tony Stark obviously based the artificial intelligence after when he created Jarvis from there. So yeah. So yeah. The Soul Stone. Let's talk about that. We have Hawkeye and Natasha arrive on Vormir. Is it Vormir?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, yeah.
Something with the V.
Yeah. So anyway, which is a planet where the Red Skull is the protector or the guide, should I say, of the Soul Stone, and Natasha and Hawkeye have to make a decision on who lives and who dies. As the sacrifice for their soul stone to be released, and it is a very sad moment, and I will let Alicia elaborate on that.
They took my Tasha. I don't know what more I can say, but they stole my Tasha. Tasha has always been my favorite Avenger, and she was basically number two to the team that we were introduced to. From the very beginning, she's been there, and I get why they did it. As soon as they actually got there, I was like, wait. There's only one way to get the bloody soul stone, and you put these two here. Like, couldn't they bring some freaking throwaway person that didn't mean much? And I know that sounds harsh because that's still throwing someone's life away, but damn. Like, I knew it couldn't be Hawkeye, because if they succeeded and everything got snapped back, he was going to need to be there for his family. So I totally understand Tasha's motivation and why she wanted to be the one to do that, to save their family. Like I said, they went in there not just for Hawkeye's family. That was very much her family as well. And she made that ultimate sacrifice. But it just I was sad in the beginning. There were a few parts that were sad and tearjerkers, but this part here is where I actually first cried tears watching this movie, was seeing Natasha sacrifice herself after just being with the team for so long, and now she's gone. Like, my one hope is, because they have so many tie-ins for what they do with the comic books, the Soul Stone actually has a soul world within it. So if Feige wanted to bring characters like Natasha back, he could definitely utilize that in a later phase of the series to bring her back, but still, it's heart-wrenching to think that Black Widow is no longer forevermore gone from the team, and totally ripped my heart out.
Agree. Like even when it happened the first time around, I was emotionally there because I was like, wait a minute. If anything, maybe they could just do something with the time stones. But then the whole conversation where no, you can't bring her back. She's gone. I was like, what? Really? I was like, damn, she really is dead. And it kind of irked me a little bit more that when during the final battle, it was like the whole female, you know, superheroes like going in. I was like, damn, you could have Natasha in there. So it really, that's what it truly hurted me. I'm just like, really, you could have had her, and that could have made it even better. But all right. But also, at one point, I had to like rewatch Infinity War to the moment where Thanos pretty much tells him about the whole thing, like what happened with Gamora. To the point, it's like, wait a minute, it's convenient that the people who went to go get the Soul Stone was Hawkeye and Natasha. Because if anyone else went, they probably would have been screwed if anything. So it was even then when they were just fighting each other, I was like, okay, so Hawkeye cannot go because like what AK said, if everything's successful, it's pretty much in hopes that yes, he can pretty much meet his like wife and kids again. And with Natasha, she doesn't really have that much family besides her new family within the Avengers and Hulk. But it's like she pretty much sacrifices stuff so he can have that. And interesting enough, Red Skull does like mention her father's name, and she's like, "Whoa, I never knew like my father's name." So I'm guessing maybe when we get in the prequel, we will hear that name, and I think Natasha won't know anything. So if anything, maybe later on when that film happens, it was like, wait a minute. So in Endgame, when she actually hears that name, maybe she does remember like what her actual father looks like, and that person was actually her father. But that's how I saw it when she was like, wait a minute, that's my father's name. Because still irks me like why would like Red Skull even bother to like mention like the names like their fathers, which is quite a thing. But also I was kind of hoping that when later on when like Captain like returns to Stones, like eventually he'll have to meet Red Skull. I'm guessing when he goes to that planet and like gives the stone back. So I kind of wish that we kind of had a scene with Captain seeing Red Skull.
Yeah, totally with the captain and the Red Skull scene. I would like to have seen that again, and I would actually have liked for the old Captain America, the 70-year-old man, to return with the Soul Stone and give it to back to him in order and take the plunge for Black Widow to be released.
That's interesting.
I think
That's an interesting thought. I kind of like that.
I think that would have been a good thing to finally end it. He's lived his long, beautiful life, and now he's going to sacrifice what he had left just to
for one of his best friends, because they had a pretty close relationship also.
Yeah, that would have been a better way of doing it. But beggars can't be choosers all the time. So, but anyway, losing that was one of the hardest things that I think we've ever had to go through. She was a very major character, but yay for getting a prequel. I am very much looking forward to watching that. So yes, Hawkeye or Clint does retrieve the Soul Stone. So that's another stone successfully given. Obviously, the stones in New York were successful, as well as the time jump back to 1970. And we did, thank you very much to Alicia, mention that Loki's getting his own TV show. And I believe my favorite character, the Scarlet Witch, is also getting her own TV show as well. So
yep.
I hope they bring out very many episodes of that so I can enjoy that for a very long time. Yeah. So what's it? Is it Disney Plus or F? What's it going on? Do you know?
Yeah,
Disney
Disney's
Plus.
whatever their streaming service is going to be.
Yeah. Okay. So cool. Now, what was the other stones collected? The having a mental blank here. The red
Power
stone, the
Stone.
power
Unless
stone.
unless you want to go to the Reality Stone.
Yeah, so the reality stone, it's infected into. I'm having a mental blank on Jane Foster's self, and Thor and Rocket go to Asgard to retrieve that from her. So yeah, what do we think of this slobbish style Thor returning to his home and having to play the duck and weave game to retrieve the stone and avoid being seen by anyone from his past? We'll go with Alicia.
I'm not sure how exactly they thought that would work out well, because Thor looks nothing like he did in his younger years. You can't have Big Lebowski Thor coming in to take the place of his younger self for any amount of time. It just wouldn't work. His PTSD is strong right now, and we think he's okay going through this, but from Jump Street, when him and Rocket are, as soon as they get there, he's all nerves and does not know what to fully do with himself. And I was thinking that he would have gotten, some time to talk to Jane, but I'm glad they did it the way they did with bringing back Rene Russo as Frigga. Their scenes together is one of my favorite for the whole movie. She didn't necessarily see him, but Frigga, in her the character in mythology that she is based on, is the person that's in charge of caring for children. So anything with her kids, she's gonna sense. And she automatically knew as soon as she walked by that hiding spot that there was some fuckery going on, and she ends up sneaking up on him while he's trying to creep, and he turns around and she's like, what are you doing? And he was like, oh, you're here. He's like, well, you do remember that I'm a witch, right, son? So yeah, there was never any way that he would be in that world where she wouldn't automatically sense something was going up, not even just on his outside appearance. Just she would just be able to look at him and know that something's wrong. And she got right down to the heart of the matter. Just she read him like a book and was like, sweetie, get it together, calm down. You remember who you are and eat a fucking salad, Thor, because damn. Like, come on, man. Come on. So yeah, she got him all the way together. Rocket went ahead and got the ether, and Thor wanted to warn her. He wanted to warn her, and I think she sensed that. But being the trained witch that she is, she knows that he can't go there. So she pushes him to go back and finish the job and get it done and get out of there. So kudos to the way they did that, and I loved how Rene Russo played that part. It was really great to see her. She is another character that I'm sad they got rid of so easily, because in Thor 1, she didn't get to shine as much as her character should have. But then in Thor 2, she came out wielding that sword like a pro, and I thought that was great. That is exactly how you would expect a Queen of Asgard to stand up in a fight. But she got taken from us too soon. But again, just like with the Ancient One, this was a great cameo, and I'm glad that she was the one that interacted with Thor in that scene. It was perfect.
Absolutely, it was a great scene to have Thor just break down to his mother, and for her to be there when he's really, he's gone through so much, and he deserves that little bit of comfort that only a mother knows how to give. Yeah, that's making me feel a little emotional now. So, with Mother's Day coming around the corner, happy Mother's Day in advance to all the lovely mothers in the world.
Indeed. Yes.
You do such a wonderful job of raising us all, and dragging
Here's
us
a drink for
around
all of
here.
you.
Yep. Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. Happy Mom's Day to anyone, any mother that may watch this later or might be watching it now.
Yep.
Thank you for all that you do.
Yes, definitely. 100%. 110%, we should say. But yes, BBM.
Forget 100 or 110%. It's 3,000, damn it. 3,000. But
We
yeah.
love you, 3,000.
Now, every time I go by Marvel binge movies, I see Thor: The Dark World. I'm like, nah, I'm not watching it. Skip. And I go to the next damn film. Just seeing how we have to go back in time is like to Thor: Dark World. Like, damn, really? Really? My gosh, he really did that. It was kind of like for me, like an FU. Like, oh, so you thought you can just skip, Thor: Dark World, now you're gonna be watching a bit of it, And it was a good touching moment that both of them, got to see each other, Thor and his moms, because again, he pretty much was in his feels when she died, and now getting to see her again, like what AK brought up, like he wanted to tell her something, but he's like, no, whatever happens, let it happen, she'll just pretty much accept her fate. And also, I wish they kind of showed us Rocket like taking the liquid from Natalie Portman, because we just see him like sneaking over, she like walks away, but never like that interaction, see if he actually would have got trouble in doing so. But he took it with ease, I'm guessing, or so, or didn't have like any problems compared to like everyone else. He just came in there, got what he needed to get, and then go. I was like, okay, that was good. And again, like they really got like a lot of these like old, not just major characters, but even like minor characters or so from previous films, just a cameo within this. Good thing it actually did happen, even though it was just for a minor second. To see like Natalie Portman like getting up or so, it was pretty good to see. And also him getting the hammer from the damn past. I was like, wait a minute, you better put that thing back when you're done, in case you create like another time stream or anything, which did happen. I believe like that's when like Captain, like since he was able to do, when we get to that point, putting the stones back, I'm guessing he also like put that back as well though. But if not, you just create another like timeline there, but hell, good thing we getting, Disney has, the X-Men, Fantastic Four. So without them knowing, they pretty much created a way for them to like, literally put them in there. So do love it.
That actually reminded me. I forgot to mention the hammer because Thor and his PTSD after he talked to his mom. He was a lot lighter on his feet, so he was like, "Wait, I gotta check this one thing," and he puts his hand out, and Rocket's like, "What, dude? What the fuck you doing? We gotta go." And Mom's like, calm down. It takes a while sometimes." And he, as soon as he grabs the hammer, he's like, "Yes, still worthy." So now that he's had the talk with his mom, and now he knows that he's still worthy, my boy is back in the game. And I was actually surprised that they got Natalie Portman to even come and do this cameo, because she didn't want to do any more Thor movies. So kudos to you, Natalie, for coming back and realizing how important having that little scene was. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Natalie. I know you were opposed to it for quite a period of time. However, she did open up recently and say that under the right circumstances she would. And here is her cameo, where we are very grateful for. Very grateful for many cameos in this film. As I said, the only person that we didn't get it. Who did I say before? I'm having a mental blank. Anyway,
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not remembering who you said either.
yeah. Anyway, I'll remember it and we'll talk about it then. So, lastly, the Power Stone. We get to see War Machine and Nebula go for it in the time frame in which the Guardians of the Galaxy first film was set in 2014, and we get to see Quill dancing around, listening to the music. I love Guardians because of the music. How can you not love the music? While you're listening to sitting there watching Guardians of the Galaxy, it is just the coolest franchise I think within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So yeah, your thoughts, fandom, on Nebula and War Machine and the retrieval of the Power Stone and Thanos finding out what is going on.
For starters, yeah, because at one point after like they killed Thanos, and I do remember like in the trailers we saw like still like Thanos in his armor and glory. I was like, wait a minute, so how the hell is we gonna get like Thanos to come back here and thing? And then finally we got it through Nebula because with her future self, or I should say present self, like and it's still the same time pretty much her past self, like they just connected and then suddenly start picking each other up. And that's how like Thanos figured out that wait a minute, what the hell is going on here? And then he pretty much learns like, oh, so this is what happened in the future. So it was good how they connected that there, but also was with them just like looking at Peter, Quill dancing, and it's like, what the hell? This is the dude we're supposed to pretty much, make sure he doesn't get the stone from, and he just low dipped the dude. I was laughing at that. And then it was pretty much easy for them to, just go in, get the stone, but then it just still caused problems because of Nebula's past self there, and also seeing Gamora again. I was like, oh yes, Gamora, even though again in our time frame she dies, and then I guess this is how they pretty much reincorporate her back within present time, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, definitely great to have Gamora back, and obviously get a different. Obviously it's back to that original character we first met at the start of Guardians, and not the character that we've seen throughout the Guardians and Infinity War. So yeah, your thoughts, Alicia?
Yeah, the Guardians, I thought was cool. I agree about the music. They are awesome. I was wondering also how it was going to work. Like as soon as Nebula said, we need to be careful, and War Machine is like, why? And she said, we're not the only person looking for the stones right in this moment. And as soon as she said that, I was like, oh shit, everything is about to go left right now. And then, we skip and we see where that present time, 2014, Gamora and Nebula and Thanos are, and that headache that comes in for Nebula. I was like, oh damn, yep. See, these are the time travel rules that you have to pay attention to. Two entities of the same life force are not supposed to be that close to each other for too long a period of time. And with Nebula, it's an even shorter amount of time because they're literally like on the same cyber network, and now they can tap into each other's memories, and they didn't know that's what was going to happen, but it did. And I thought it was very smart the way they played that to have Nebula be the random linchpin that was going to be the kink in the plan. And it worked out well how it happened, but still I'm looking at it like damn.
You waiting for like the doctor to come out of his TARDIS and it's like, see
Right,
what
I
happened
told
to
you,
your
assholes. I told you. Like as soon as they even started explaining all of the time, and people were talking about Back to the Future, I was like, it's not linear like that, guys. Timey wimey wibbly wobbly ball of wobbly timey wimey stuff. It stop thinking so linear, nerds. Get it together. If you're talking, you're muted, Andrew. We can't hear you.
Sorry about that. You hear me now? Excellent.
All good.
Oh, good. So yeah, obviously Nebula retrieves the Power Stone in kind of burns the absolute crap out of her hand. But yeah, we do get to see this connection on the network, as AK said. You know, they are on. I kind of thought that when I was watching that Tony Stark and Professor Hulk should have been smart enough to kind of work out that this could be an issue. And like, I mean, you can't think of everything in life, but when you're planning on doing a time heist and you've got two of the smartest minds in the entire world, making the plan, you would think that they would be thinking of every variable possible.
You know who would have thought about it? Shuri.
Who,
Had
sorry?
she been there, had she been there,
Yeah.
Shuri would have caught that and be like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Let me give you this upgrade right here real quick so it doesn't mess with you. Okay, go on.
She thinks of everything. She's the definitely, I would say, probably the smartest person we've met in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
And that's why they couldn't have her there.
Yeah. Mm. Plus, she was, completely puffed away. So,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why she was pooped. That because if she was there, they wouldn't have been able to keep on with this plot point. It's like Captain Marvel. I thought Captain Marvel would be in the movie a lot more, but she's the big gun. You can't have your overpowered big gun in every scene. So I get it.
Exactly. You needed powerful characters that could still be thrown around a lot more. Like, you can't have someone overpowering Thanos the whole way through and then, expect us to believe that Thanos is the big bad if he's constantly being beaten up all the time. So yeah, I completely dig that. And we did get powerful scenes with Captain Marvel when she turned up. So it was good. They didn't overdo her. I know there's a lot of Brie Larson hate out there from a lot of people, but you know what? Get fucked. Seriously.
Exactly. She rocked this fucking role, and I'm glad that they picked her to do it. She was perfect at it.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, AK. I appreciate that because so many people will say I'm wrong when I say that I think they chose right. But we don't all have to agree on politics in life. That's what makes us fucking different, So, fucking don't have a go at the chick just because you don't agree with what she says all the time. So. Yeah. Anyway. So they are the Soul Stone, the Infinity Stones, and they have been all successfully obtained by the Avengers. When the Avengers return, they realize that this mission did cost them Black Widow or Nat, which is an extremely emotional, hard scene when you watch all the characters that have known and loved her go through the grieving stages of losing someone like her, and it was an impactful scene. What did you think of the scene, Alicia?
Which scene are we on right now?
Just the scene where the Avengers all learn that they've lost Nat what they go through. So
that's it's another one of those punching us in the heart. As soon as everyone gets back, and then as soon as Hawkeye gets back, he's already on his knees and looking sad, and Cap's looking around where's Nat? She's gone. That there was nothing else to be said. And they brought up the issue does she have any family anywhere? And Hawkeye's yeah, us. I mean, and she, again, like I said, she gave her life for her family to succeed and live on. Just, it makes me want to cry thinking about it every time.
Absolutely heartbreaking it was. Yeah, Phantom. Your thoughts of the scene where we watched all these Avengers go from being the toughest guys in the world to the most emotional.
Exactly. That was the whole point of this damn film, just bring them down like to, our level to a point where it's like, yeah, these guys may be like tough and strong at the same time. When they're in their fields, same as us. We pretty much even like you see Hulk like throwing a piece of furniture like across the damn river, like he was just pissed off, and him being because he had was an emotional relationship with her in previous films to learn like, wow, she's gone. Like, wouldn't be surprised if, like, within the whole 5 year time skip, he probably would have said, you know what, if only I spend like more time, with Natasha or so, because at any point we can all just end up going. So it was crazy.
Yeah, it was. So obviously the stones have all been taken, and they have their own Infinity Gauntlet, which is made from Iron Man technology, and they have the Hulk use obviously the gem, the stones, and it causes corruption in his arm, and we then see Thanos officially attack planet Earth. There is a quick emotional scene in between that where Hawkeye's mobile phone rings and his wife answers the phone. Very touching, after losing everything, and that's he gets that phone call. Very special. But yeah, so the Thanos has set a trap for the Avengers by using Nebula, replacing her with old Nebula, and that's how he was able to travel back in time and attack the Avengers. Or not travel back, travel forward in time, I should say, and attack the Avengers. So we get an epic war between the Avengers and Thanos' forces. And this time around, I want to hear from fandom. Please let me know what you thought of the gauntlet usage and all the way into the epic war that we saw between them.
So yeah, it was good to see like we got this like new goal. Because at one point I was okay, how the hell they're going to be using the stones, unless they're going to somehow get like the previous gauntlet or whatever. But I'm guessing they got the previous gauntlet, like test out the specs and stuff, and then Tony just created like a huge like gauntlet size that can pretty much just fit anyone's hand. And we see like, oh, Hulk pretty much asks himself like, okay, I'm going to be the one to do it because he can just pretty much take it in because of the whole gamma ration situation there, which pretty much took out his whole arm. And it's like, okay, he's pretty much out of commission for like the rest of this damn film here. But also, when we actually get that scene where like, Hank is like looking out in the distance and suddenly like pretty much everyone is like on fire from Thanos and his forces. At one point, I jumped out of my freaking seat. I was like, that just came out of nowhere. At one point, I thought that, Hank might actually would have been dead, but I'm guessing, he just used his Ant-Man suit and he was able to like survive this. And probably I wonder like was like one of them going to end up like dying or so from that blast just came out of freaking nowhere. But all came out unscathed though, even them trying to like figure out a way how to get out of it because Hulk had to like with just one arm because with his like what was it, his right or left one was damaged, so he's pretty much like holding up the wreckage so that people can try like move around and like get out of that. It was crazy. And also freaking Nebula from the freaking past, just getting everyone like his entire pretty much his fleet there to the present so that or future, however you're gonna put it, semantics, so they actually could pretty much try to get the whole freaking Infinity Gauntlet there, so you can try to do the whole finger snap all over again. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, to me, the battle was completely epic compared to previous battles that we have. I mean, every battle we have seen, whether it be an Infinity War or Civil War, Age of Ultron or the original Avengers, that they've all been big battles, and I think that this battle has been the biggest of it all, and we get to see so many characters. Appear in this major battle scene. They all pop out of those magic rings that Doctor Strange uses to be able to teleport throughout. Not time, but to different locations and so forth. Alicia, your thoughts on the obviously the Hulk using the Infinity Gauntlet, the battle, not quite the ending, but yeah, I'll let you
Okay,
go.
this whole sequence was pretty damn epic. I think Bruce was absolutely right. As far as the radiation that comes off of the glove is gamma, and he legit is the one with the most strength in that moment that could still, recover from a snap like that. So he had to be the one to take it, and he got it done. But then, of course, here comes Thanos using Nebula as the in. And again, kudos to Karen Gillan for the way she played the younger and older Nebula. I think here in this scene, with all the scenes with younger Nebula, we saw how much stress she really was throughout her years coming up, and where she, had this sibling rivalry with Gamora. And Gamora honestly never saw it as a rivalry. She was just trying to survive the best way she knew how. But Nebula always felt things deeper, and I think that was showed very well in the way she played both her younger and older self in this movie. The battle, oh my god, this freaking battle, dude! When you say call the fucking banners, man, look, that snap happened, and all of the banners were called. Every raven that could fly flew and went out. Silence, and all we heard was, "Hey, Steve, on your left." And as soon as I saw that first ring, and freaking Black Panther, Shuri, and my girl fucking Michonne Okoye in this series walked out, and I was like, yes, it's happening. Here we go. And then like 1,000 fucking orange rings opened, and everyone came up. If there was ever an Avengers fucking assemble moment, this was it. This was it. And Cap fucking called it once everybody got to the battlefield. Avengers fucking assemble. And we go into the shits. And then I didn't think it could get much better than that. But no, they were not done. They gave me Pepper in her fucking rescue suit, finally. And on top of that, we got fucking A-Force. The whole scene where all of the lady warriors got into play, that's damn near the cover of the fucking A-Force comic. And I loved it. Like I went to see it with me and my lady and my brother and sister and their kids. And I was sitting next to my nephew, and he doesn't know all of the extra characters. So we were kind of like jibber jabbering throughout the whole thing. But it was great. I had to explain some of the stuff to him, but we were like on the edge of our seats for like the main part of that whole battle sequence. I loved it.
I like to call that group of women the Vagina Vanguard.
That is actually quite comical, and I appreciate that, sir. And also, Valkyrie on her damn Pegasus. How awesome was it to see her ride into battle like that? Oh, A-Force gave me like all of my life. That I loved the whole battle, but seeing A-Force come together, that shit was fucking awesome. I really, really, really loved this whole battle, except for the end. But we're not there yet, so Andy, take it away.
Yeah, well, I thought the battle was epic. You know, I couldn't be more happy with watching all these different characters just turn up and just belt the absolute crap out of or shoot, depending on what weapons they had. You know, we got to see Captain America. Um, Lift Thor's hammer, and not just lift it, but he was able to summon it and use it and be able to call the lightning like Thor as well. This was an
I totally forgot about that. Oh my god.
epic moment. Like, as a
And
Captain
again with the
America
comedy.
fan.
This was the comedy when he did that and Thor was like, I fucking knew it. And didn't even make any qualms about it. He just went on with the battle.
It was amazing. I was like, I was sitting there, and I've seen it twice so far, and both times that scene just fucking made me just like want to jump out of my seat and go, "Fuck yeah!" Get real. It was an awesome moment. Yeah, very much loved it. So yeah,
Yeah, every
that
time I
was.
watch it, like everyone in the movie theaters like got up and cheered. It's like, yes, because at that point, Thanos against Iron Man, freaking Thor and Captain, he was like that strong in this damn film. Like every time I like rewatch Infinity War, I just guessed that he was possibly using the Power Stone just to take down Hulk, but in reality, I don't think he was like using that. He probably just was able to match Hulk in that scene.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, just
Thanos is just
seeing.
strong by himself.
Yeah, exactly. So just seeing that, I was like, damn, really, really is nothing with messing with him this damn film. I'm like, damn. But yeah, just seeing him finally like picking up the hammer. Even again, a callback to Age of Ultron where he just lifted up a bit. And it wasn't just yet that this film happens, like finally. Like, yo, Funko, make that Funko Pop Captain with the damn hammer. I'm buying it.
I'm getting it too, man. I'll line up for that shit.
That'll be the first Funko that I buy. Yeah, if I see that shit come on the market, yeah, it's a wrap. That'll be the first one I get. But yeah, I totally forgot about the damn hammer scene, and they fucking went to work. Like right here, this is where we really, really saw Thor come back into his own self, and he dropped all of those burdens that he had. And him and Steve were just great. And again, this is how they fought together. You can see the years that they have had this friendship and cultivated it, and the battles that they've been in together. They just flip tit for tat. They just flip flop, and when the hammers got mixed up, he was like, no, I'll take this one. You take the little one. And then they went back to work. And again, he brought those little notes of comedy into this serious scene. And it was just, there were so many great things about this battle and just so many awesome callbacks to the comics and the way they did the relay patches. It was almost like they were kind of taunting DC. I'm probably the only one that saw it this way, but that run that they made to get the the mother box away from Steppenwolf when the damn it, Wonder Woman's people. I forget their names right now. Yes, thank you. The Amazons, and they had to do like the little pass in the box to different people. It's almost like Feige was saying, "Hey, yo, this is how you do a fucking relay run," and I loved it how they were trying to get the gauntlet over to the right person, and finally, it comes to Captain Marvel, and Spidey's like, I don't know how you're gonna get through all that. And she was like, oh, and that's when we got A-Force. And it was a callback also to the scene with Scarlet Witch fighting Ebony, not Ebony Maw, but the chick that was one of Stannis, good lord, fucking thrones, bleeds and everything. the one of Thanos' children. And Natasha came up like, no, she's not alone. And again, I agree with Andy. I was really, really missing Natasha here because Black Widow would have gave that wet work to every enemy coming at her. But just for that scene to come up and see again, it was A-Force that finished this relay race. So I really think Feige was sending up a little fuck you to DC. But that's neither here nor there. It was still a great scene to see, and how it ended up. They achieved their goal. They got the glove to where they need to be. There was almost a slip. Thanos almost won again, but Thanos, his issue was he doesn't even see his own arrogance. Like, he gave some spiel about how, the arrogant never see this and never see that. Well, yeah, dude, you didn't see any of that shit coming, did you? Did you? Why? Because you're too fucking cocky. You are not inevitable. No, they've beat you. You got them in the first timeline, but they came back stronger, and now they fucked you up. You're done. Inevitable, my ass.
True. He's pretty much his new plan was just doing the finger snap again, but just getting rid of pretty much everyone in this universe and just to create another one so they just don't remember everything. It's one thing that he should have anticipated. Because even with Gamora, granted, her planet became prosperous again, but the memory and the pain of like what did he pretty much cause, it was pretty much inevitable. That was pretty much a foreshadowing what was going to happen. And that's why he figured out, oh, Master just kill everyone else all here and just create a new world on top of that. It's like,
I
nah,
guarantee
fam,
you
it's
that
never gonna happen.
I guarantee you that her people are thriving, but they've now also stepped up their game in the weapons work, and they've become far more militaristic and have way more weapons of destruction than they did before, because they remember exactly what Thanos did. And if he ever tried to go back and do that shit again, I think about the same thing would happen. They would take him down. They would not let that happen again. So you're kind of sowing the seeds to your own demise in the end, in the grand scheme of things.
Absolutely, so true. Now, we need to talk about a very sad ending. And this is the heartbreaking truth that Thanos did lose. And that's not the sad part. We lost a very major character, and that was none other than Iron Man. And Tony Stark has been the backbone of the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. And, he has been one popular character, and it will never be the same again without having Tony Stark in these movies. And, we do thank Robert Downey Jr. for the time that he has put into this character that we have all loved. Well, most of us anyway. We can't please everyone. But Stark was able to trick Thanos into believing that he had the Infinity Gauntlet when Stark had actually stolen the stones. And when he used the Infinity Gauntlet to destroy Thanos and all of his forces and turn them into dust as he did to the rest of the planet, it happened to take its toll on Tony and kill him. Before leaving, we had an emotional farewell with War Machine or Rhodey, whatever you want to say, and a young Peter Parker, and of course Pepper Potts. So yeah, it was an extremely sad moment to lose him. And we had a very touching funeral at their lake home, where we watched all the Avengers that had survived turn up. I mean, not every single one that competed in the battle, because there were soldiers in the battle as well, not just main characters. So it was a very emotional scene. We even got to see the kid from Iron Man 3 that helped Tony out when he was in trouble. And he's all grown up as a young teenager, early adult there, and he's standing there in the funeral. So if you wondered who the guy standing there in the funeral is, that's who it is. It's the kid from Iron Man 3. Alicia, your thoughts on the ending, and any predictions for coming for the next one, or we just at least the ending, and we can get to predictions later if you prefer.
All right. For this final snap, it's like Tasha and Clint again. It couldn't have been anyone but Tony that actually went in and got this job done. This whole story started with Tony. So it makes absolute sense that this leg of the journey in the Marvel universe ends with him. And it's like we lost our captain and lieutenant. It started with Iron Man and Iron Man 1, and that's where we got Tony and where we got Tasha. So now those two big guns, they're out of the story, at least for now. At least for now. This is comic books, and not to give anyone hope, but this is comics. People have died and come back multiple times, unless your name is Ben. But it hits you right in the feels, and I thought the way they did the funeral was absolutely perfect. They had everyone there that truly mattered to Tony. And see, this is why, when they did Civil War, a lot of folks were automatically like team captain and saying how, it's Captain America, he's got the right ideals, that, the Sokovia things should never come into effect and blah, blah, blah. And I was always team Iron Man. I get that, that there were some tactics that may have been underhanded, but those were on both sides. And without Tony ever being a part of the Avengers, there's a whole lot that they would not have been able to get done. Bruce is smart, but his level of PhD is completely different than all of the knowledge that Tony has. They work great as a team. We've seen that. But without Tony being in there, and not even just for the team stuff. I'm talking about like for the everyday stuff also. Places to live, a paycheck every 2 weeks or every month or however it got. Anything that they really needed in the background, Tony is the one that was handling that. And now we don't have that anymore. I'm sure Pepper is absolutely still going to be there in the background, helping to support the team just like she did with Tony. But it leaves a very large hole to not have Tony Stark around anymore. And it does open the way. I'm actually glad that they had that kid from Iron Man 3 show up, because we are going to need someone to replace that heavy brain power. And we know that kid's been sick with the science since he was, what was he, like 10 in Iron Man 3? So I think he's a good candidate. Him, even maybe partnered somewhat with Peter, and also again Shuri, because I really think that a lot of the heavy science for any of the Avengers could come from work that Shuri is doing. But we'll have to see how that goes.
With those characters, okay, not Shuri, but Peter Parker, and I don't know.
Yeah, I forget the kid's name too.
Kids, yeah, they are possibly hinting at the comic series called Young Avengers, where they, even Cassie, which is Ant-Man's daughter, she's a part of that too. So
they aged her up for a reason. So I think we're definitely going to see something there as well. And also Hawkeye's daughter, while she's a little bit younger than they are, I still think that they could work that in. They aged Cassie up. I don't see why they wouldn't do the same with Hawkeye's daughter for Young Avengers. So that I think for a prediction for further series, I do see that forming. I do see. I don't think Pepper is going to drop the suit so quickly. I think now that she has lost Tony, when she said we're going to be okay, I think she fully means that, and I think she may not join the team full time, but when she needs to suit up, she's definitely going to be there. just like this. And that was actually a part that I forgot to talk about in the battle. When her and Tony were fighting back to back, she was like a pro. Like, I don't know when she practiced, but she got right down to business when she put that suit on. And I don't think that's the last time we're going to see Pepper in that suit. At least I very much hope that it isn't the last time that we see it. I think, we got that final shot of Wakanda at night, and oh my Lord, like I love seeing shots of New York City at night. Wakanda blows that out of the fucking water. I love that Angela Bassett came back for that like 2-minute cameo that they had with her and Shuri and T'Challa. I thought that was great. I think we are definitely going to see some more big things from T'Challa and Shuri, and I'm really looking forward to that in the next Black Panther movie. Ryan Coogler, I know he's already working on the script, so I'm really think that's going to be excellent. Ant-Man and his crew, I think we're going to see finally a little bit more from Wasp. And Grace from Beyond the Trailer, her channel, she, I think, has it right when assessing Wasp and how underutilized her character has actually been. Like, she, in the comics, Wasp was one of the founding members of the Avengers. So for what is her name? Evangeline Lilly, or the person that plays Wasp? I don't remember her name. I'm sorry, but I think she's a great actress, but they haven't given her enough to do in that role. So I'm hoping now that they moving forward, as we're pulling in more members to form the new team, that she's going to be a bigger part of that. She can fight, and she's also super smart, so we can totally utilize that also to help alleviate some of the gap that Tony has left. Let's see, for things that can come in, I think this is a great time to start filtering in some Fantastic Four and X-Men characters, particularly Wolverine, because there was a point in time where Wolverine was also an Avenger. So I could see them starting with that and then working their way into filtering everybody else in. And actually, again, Tony's gone now. So Reed Richards would be a great character to bring in now, because he is also one of the smartest folks in the Marvel Universe. So I don't know. We'll see how they play it. But all in all, I did love this ending. I thought it was great. And I did appreciate also the callback from the comics for Happy being there for Tony's daughter and for Pepper. In the comics, eventually Happy and Pepper are actually married. So this might be, sowing the small seeds of that. So we'll see how that goes, but I think it's already set to happen, and I'm here for
it. He's got more purpose than just getting cheeseburgers.
Exactly.
Fandom, your thoughts?
For starters, that cheeseburger line, I was like, damn, that's literally the food that Tony asked for in Iron Man 1 when he came back from being like kidnapped. He was like, oh, first thing I want to get like a cheeseburger, and he got it. It was like, ah. Like, seeing at one point when, before he even like tries to even do the finger snap, you see Captain Marvel like, going to work against Thanos there, but then he just takes the Power Stone and just decks her. I'm like, ah, damn. And then Tony comes in, and then it seems like he did something, and then the moment the finger snap, he realized they weren't there. And then he said his final words, I am Iron Man. And everyone in the theater was like applauding it and cheering. I was like, no, because if he does it, he's going to die. And he died. That was like the third time I cried in that freaking film. I was like, damn, why? Why? I never cried in any single Marvel film, but this one, near that ending, they have me in my feels too much. I was freaking crying. Just seeing how, he was pretty much like half his freaking, like, he was looking like Two-Face almost at this point. Like, they after the freaking finger snap, and then Pepper again. Like, first it was like Peter was saying something, or was it what you gonna call it?
It was
His best
Rhodey, then
friend.
Peter. It was Rhodey, then
Yeah.
Peter, and then Pepper came in and moved
Yeah,
Peter out
it
the way.
was just damn, just damn. That was really emotional. Then he transitioned to the damn funeral, and that funeral there. At one point, I was like, damn, we lost freaking Stan Lee, Now we freaking lost damn Iron Man. And then how it was just panning out to like all the damn characters. I cried again, like, damn, really? Just
And
really?
shout out
Then
to
again,
Maria. Maria was also at the funeral, and I'm mad. Colby
mm-hmm.
Smulders is another her character. I think they should give more to do because she's a great actress and she has a leg in this fight too. She's not no weakling.
Exactly. Like it was crazy. The final person he actually panned out to was Nick Fury. I'm like, yes, damn right, you're gonna have freaking Nick in that damn thing. I'm not sure if he was in the battle itself. Was he? I'm not sure. I keep like the second time I look, I was like seeing
Him and
if he was
Maria, I think,
there.
were the only two that were not in the battle.
Yeah. If then, even though then, like if you have freaking like Bucky again, he's like he has the serum as well though, but he was pretty much just using a gun just to shoot around. Like they couldn't get past them a damn gun, and they
Exactly.
could have done
You
something.
could have had them in there, right? Come on, Feige, get it together.
But it really was emotional there. And again, and just seeing how everyone is back and stuff, again, like AK saying with Black Panther, and just seeing how it was like a 5 year gap. And like in the beginning of the film, they do mention like there was like earthquakes and tsunamis, all this other stuff. I wonder if that's going to be like their open door. They can actually do Submariner in the MCU. And if so, bam, have a Submariner in there and like the Black Panther too. That's if they decide to do that, unless they had something else planned out for like Black Panther 2 or whatever, even part Black Panther 3. Can't we see how everything's gonna go there? But like, damn, it really was emotional though. To even have like the last message Tony was playing and he had it in his freaking helmet or so, and he was like, "Oh, everything probably gonna work out fine. You probably didn't have to even hear this, but things did not work out as he planned. Though, granted, they did end up winning, but it was his sacrifice. Even like Doctor Strange even tell him like what specifically had to happen. He just looked at him with that one. It's that one thing. All this is Endgame, man, and this was it. And I was like, damn, because who knows if he told him before, he probably would have had a second thought or so. Because hell, he has a daughter at home. But all in all, like it came to this where he actually made that sacrifice. And when you look from Iron Man 1 to now, he has changed dramatically. Oh my god! Again, tip my hat off to freaking Robert Downey Jr. Excellent acting all aboard to see how they close his damn character to the point that even when we saw like the credits and they were panning out to like every single like person from Captain, then they did like Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man again. I cried and like, damn, really? I'm crying for damn credits here now. Come on now. And everyone was like applauding, standing, like, yeah, it's just the guy here. It was pretty much sad. Like, just damn. Just damn. And yes, I'm waiting for you, Funko, to make, an Iron Man with the Infinity Gauntlet or whatever. Funko Pop 2. That's another one I gotta go damn get. Like, just damn. Literally, I had to, like, get my Iron Man Funko Pops and put them to a side or so. Because every time I was looking at them, I got teary-eyed. But now I'm back. I'm back now. I can actually talk about this scene without getting that emotionally damn driven about it. But yeah, it was crazy.
And that what you just said actually just reminded me, if you go back to the first Avengers movie, when him and Cap are having that argument, and Cap is like, you're not the guy that's going to lay down and let another guy crawl over you. And now, yeah, Tony's that guy. And it's just such a great wrap up to this whole series. It's sad, and I'm definitely still in my feels about it, but I can't wait to see what's going to come next too.
Big things ahead, that's for sure. There's um, definitely no bad things that happen in the Marvel universe because they happen for a reason, and it sets up something stronger for the future. Losing Tony was a big thing, and we will never ever get another character quite like him again. And it does make you teary when you watch the scenes at the cinema. And it will make you teary at home when you watch it. If it doesn't, you're an emotionless bastard. But
I got a question for you guys actually.
Yes.
Now that we are at the end of the movie and we're before we move on to full out predictions, what do you think of the ending scene with Old Man Cap and seeing that once he did the job and he got the stones back and probably got the hammer back to Asgard, what do you think about the scene with him and Peggy? And particularly, my thought is, back in the first Captain America movie, it was either the first or the second one, when he went to the museum and they had that little clip of Peggy playing, saying that, Captain America and the Howling Commandos, they saved a lot of soldiers, including the man that would become my husband, but they never said whose name it was. So now that we see that Cap has gone back and he did get that time in with Peggy through life, do you think that was a callback to that, or it just happened to work out by coincidence?
Could be. To the point, even when I believe it was in Civil War, where the niece was like, and Peggy had like many secrets, and it's like, wait, was that
Yeah,
one of the secrets there?
right. And how weird is it though that you kind of like kissed your grandpa?
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know exactly what to fully make of that particular time travel. Has it been done on a different branch of time? Does, or is it done in this timeline? It's hard to kind of exactly work out, whether he's, because they said you can't, change the future by your actions of the past and all that.
Right,
So
right.
There is the possibility he's done this in a different timeline.
And then came back to give Sam the shield.
Yeah.
And more than likely, probably dipped out again, because I don't see why he would have stayed there when Peggy was dead in that timeline.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
you're probably right. That probably was an alternate reality.
Yeah, but it was always going to be a Captain America handing his shield over to the next person to defend that. And was it going to be the Winter Soldier becoming the new Captain America, or was it going to be Falcon becoming Captain America? It was, either of these characters would have been good. But I am happy that Falcon's got it. It's just that I was kind of thinking it would be a stronger redemption arc for Bucky to get the shield over Falcon, because Falcon's already very, very much established as the character that he already is, and
I don't think Bucky feels he's worthy to do it.
I agree. Bucky doesn't feel worthy, but I would have loved to have seen it as a redemption arc for him. But that's just my opinion on that. But the other scene that we also have to talk about is the Asgardian, which is Thor decides to vacate the throne of Asgard and give it to Valkyrie. She's the new queen. And Thor decides to join the Guardians of the Galaxy. Your thoughts, Alicia?
I think that's going to just add just that much more comedy to that brand, and I can't wait to see it. I'm gonna say their first mission is going to be like the mission to find Gamora, because younger Gamora was still around, I believe. I think she had already turned on Thanos by that time. So when Tony did the snap, I question whether she would have disappeared with all of his minions. I think that once she saw Star-Lord, like her and Nebula had that conversation, like, really, this was the guy? And Nebula was like, well, it was either him or a tree. So your choices were limited, sis. I don't know what to tell you. But after that, I think she might have just, grabbed somebody's random ship and rolled out, because she wasn't on the ship with them in that end scene. And why would she have been? Honestly, the only person there she would have loyalty to is Nebula. But she's kind of got a fresh lease on life now. She knows that she died at some point. Well, her older self died, and now she wants to go out and see the world. So I think they're one of the first things that they might end up doing is trying to find out where she is and where she ended up, or some other random tomfoolery is going to happen. Maybe with what's the what was Yondu's people's names? With Michelle Yao and Sylvester Stallone, the characters that they played, I think they might come back into play. It'd be interesting to see them. I don't think that they would have taken those roles if they really were going to be in there for just 10 minutes on screen. So I think we're going to see them again. And I'm here for it. And Thor just adds another layer of awesomeness to that whole cast. My nephew thinks that they're going to change the name to, the what did he say? The Asgardians of the Galaxy. I was like, no, that's not happening. Thor might be in charge, but that name change is not happening.
Just the two of them joking about who's in charge, and they were like, "Oh, what you can fight
Right,
for is a gun or like the knives." I'm like,
you know everybody's gonna listen to Thor over Star-Lord, man. That's
pretty
just the
much.
given. Come on, man. Especially once he gets the god body back. And this is not a dude. You're a dude. This is a man.
I just love that Infinity War that they were like the dynamic of Thor with the Guardians, and now they was like, "Oh yeah, he's gonna be part of the Guardians." Like what?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
I'm guessing you're gonna now put in, since they introduced Adam Warlock in Volume 2 with that post-credit scene. I guess they're gonna do with that. Is gonna that
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. I think
they showed us that in Volume 2, and I was like, oh, they're gonna put Adam Warlock in Infinity War because he was like that, like in the first Infinity War run. They had Adam Warlock, who kind of was the one who was like, yo, Thanos is coming, but they kind of gave that role to Hulk thing for a bit. But it seems like, if anything, that should be Volume 3. If not, it would be wrong to just introduce Adam Warlock and just not have him for Volume 3. It'd be like, what? Then what's the point?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they're probably gonna pull him out. So hopefully they can weave Gamora in as like a side mission. But yeah, I think we definitely need to see Adam Warlock. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do with him, because in the comic, Adam Warlock has a very large part to play in the Infinity War, and he's been an owner of the Gauntlet multiple times. And he is basically like the Lord of Soul World, like that. That's where he lives. So that's why, again, if they bring him in, I think if they really wanted to, we could get Natasha back.
We can only hope.
Fingers crossed. Feige, give us our Natasha back, please.
All right. Fandom, any last thoughts?
Sure, about those last thoughts and ratings. It was a good damn film. If people would ask me, which is better, Infinity War or Endgame? Well, it might not be like that. They were two great damn films, but if you had to make me choose, I still have to give this one an edge, even though it was like slow in the beginning. But this one hit me in my feels more than Infinity War. Granted, it was all the part 1, the part 2, but now I truly know why they had to like change the name of it, not be like Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2. No, they had to change it like to Endgame, which was even greater, to the point where it's like, yeah, all the 10 years, or should I say like 11 years or so, like culminate to this moment, having the right callbacks, people coming back. And granted, we could have a few other people, but it was still one hell of a good ass film. Like, higher, if you have people who watch this have not yet seen it, just here for spoilers, god damn it, watch it. If you can't even like go in theaters now for some reason, there are some other ways. I'm not saying you should go and find those other ways, but somehow, some way, go watch the film. I think I'll probably give like an 8.8, because some of these time travel things, it was kind of like, huh, what? I don't know. Like, they were just like iffy there, again, with Alicia said earlier, maybe you want to tell me why, Doctor Who. It's just like, really? Especially with the Captain America, both of you are bringing up, and unless somehow, some way, like until they found out that I forgot which year it was where they find him back. I think it was like what 2012 or something like that, where they find his frozen body. Maybe then he like jumped back into his present time. Maybe that's so. Is that like two Captain Americas or
That's
so?
highly possible. I didn't even
Yeah,
consider
the whole
that.
thing. Yeah,
So
it could
he
be
would
possibly like one
essentially
way.
fix the timeline. Yeah,
Hmm.
I can see it working like that.
And somehow use some type of gadget to just cover his face so people wouldn't actually acknowledge it. Because even when he traveled back in time, like no one even like recognized. Like, wait a minute, you look like Captain America. Even there, because he even had like a photo of Captain America like on freaking Peggy's like that, so anyone could just looked at it and been like, yeah, wait a minute. But like there was like that point in time where no one even like acknowledged, like, wait a minute, this dude's like walking here. It looks similar to freaking Captain America. So yeah.
There
Further
is
in
one
the
person that acknowledged it, and I cannot remember her name. No, she's a comedian, and she's a
oh, the
huge
chick that was
Walking
in the
Dead fan.
elevator.
Yeah, she's actually
I
been
know
on
you're
the
talking
Talking Dead quite
about.
a few times and hosted it for a little bit. But yeah, she was looking at him like a complete side eye, like Tony even saw it. He tried to step in front of him, but as soon as he left, she was right back on him, like, bruh, I know something's wrong with you. You're not supposed to be here. So yeah, and she's the one that actually raised the alarm, so Tony and Cap knew to hurry up and get the hell out of Dodge. So yeah, there was one person that was paying attention.
And yeah, any other last thoughts from you, Alicia? Just on the ending of the movie.
I think this was a great movie. I honestly would give it I'll say a strong 9.85 out of 10, just because, like David said, some of the time travel stuff is a bit hinky, and you got to suspend your disbelief to make it work, not question it too hard. But outside of that, it was spectacular. I got so many callbacks to previous movies, so many Easter eggs for the comics, and just A Force. That's like one of the best Easter eggs ever. R.I.P. Black Widow, R.I.P. Iron Man. Hopefully we get you both back at some point. I don't know how they're gonna play it.
We can't forget Vision as well. Vision was
and yeah, we didn't get Vision back either. But I think that we might see something with him coming from Wanda's show, because we didn't get the full download, but Shuri did get a little bit. So with her brain power put into this, I think they could find some weird way.
Yeah,
Wanda
needs a sex bot.
Yeah. I mean, she could just seriously poof one into existence. Quite honestly, she's got the power to do that. So, I am definitely looking forward to seeing what they're going to do next. But I am absolutely going to miss our characters that are our fallen heroes. I don't know how they're going to play it, but I think it'll be awesome. And I am looking forward to the possibility of the Young Avengers. I am also looking forward to seeing what the little girl from Captain Marvel, who eventually in the comics ends up being Photon. She also gets power. So I'm hoping that we'll see something with her moving forward as well. Along with Cassie and Hawkeye's daughter, Peter. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with the battle with Mysterio in the next Spider-Man movie in a couple months. And I don't know. I can't wait to see exactly where Feige's going to take us on the next leg of this journey. But still, again, RIP to our heroes that we did not get back.
And no other final predictions on what we should be seeing in the next few movies.
I don't know. I think we're definitely gonna start seeing some X-Men and Fantastic Four work start moving in. I don't think they're gonna get any of their own movies probably until like Phase 5, because I'm pretty sure Feige's got Phase 4 already laid out. So he might make some tweaks here and there. That's why I said I think if he does, Wolverine should probably be the first character that does that, or Charles Xavier.
Yeah.
Rob from Comics Explained, he actually did like his own random fan predictions on how you could weave the X-Men and Fantastic Four into the MCU as it was like a year ago. And one of the things he said was that Charles Xavier, for whatever reason, was hiding mutants from everyone, like on a mental level. And we know Charles definitely has the power to do that.
Yeah.
So he thought that, once all of this happened, because so many people in the world are gone now, that, the X-Men are going to have to jump in and try to help humanity come back to what it was. And obviously the Avengers are going to need some help. They can't do it by themselves. So that's how they're going to weave them in sometimes. And I encourage you guys to go to Comics Explain's channel, and he has it all on a playlist. Go check those out. I think he's got some great ideas. So Feige, I mean, if you want any new ideas, go talk to Rob. Just saying.
Fandom, mate. Any predictions on where the Marvel Cinematic Universe is heading? Your thoughts on the upcoming Spider-Man Far From Home?
I'm looking forward to Mysterio and Far From Home. I don't know everyone else looking forward to in that film. And Doctor Strange film, we're gonna get like Baron as a villain. I'm guessing that's what we're gonna have. I think that's the name of the character. That was like who was helping him as a villain. The other films supposed to. I said earlier, Submariner, hopefully within Black Panther, unless they have like another villain, getting ready for that part too. What else is? And we already talked about Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Hopefully, maybe Black, not Black. That's freaking DC. Adam Warlock there. They both have Adam in their name, so calm down, calm down. Don't crucify me just yet. What else? Oh, if they wouldn't like, if anything, the Venture Tower, like they mentioned, like someone brought it, they could have literally, Reeves like buy it and
Fantastic
bam,
Four,
they
right?
can turn that into
Yep.
the Baxter building. So bam, they could have just introduced them just like that. So that would be a great way if they want to interweave Fantastic Four. Like what AK said, I'll be shocked if we actually got like any of them within Phase 4. But if they actually can like squeeze at least one or two characters in, do it the same way how they got, Spider-Man into it, even though they weren't expecting to have Spider-Man, but they were able to, weave them in there, so it actually can fit in perfectly. So wherever that happens, wait.
Yeah, and when we were talking after we left the movie, my nephew was saying something about Aquaman and how it'd be cool to like see him interact with them. I said, yeah, we kind of have an Aquaman, but his name is Namor, and he's a little bit cooler than Aquaman is. But that's just my personal opinion. So I think if we're going to see a new person, I think where Black Panther is concerned, Namor would be a really good place to start, or Kraven the Hunter. And I think Ryan Coogler had said he had thought about using Kraven for the first movie, but that it would be just a bit too much extra with everything else that was going on. So if we could see him for the Black Panther 2, I think it would be fitting.
Absolutely, and obviously with that huge Easter egg that they put in the movie with the seismic activity underneath the ocean, it's clearly pointing at what their future plans are.
It's coming.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I think you've pretty much given your predictions and everything towards the movie and upcoming films. I was very much impressed with this. I gave it a solid 9.5 out of 10. I do highly recommend you watch it on the big screen while it's still on the big screen, if you can. If you can't afford
in
to,
3D, if you can, it's worth it.
Definitely. Whatever gold class IMAX theaters, whatever you can to improve the experience, just treat yourself because it's a 3-hour movie. And one once the names of the actors finish with their pictures associated with it, you actually right to leave because there is no ending credit to it, which is the first Marvel movie.
They better not leave. They better everyone who worked on this damn film. You should see their every single goddamn name. They deserve it. They deserve it. I didn't get up either. Like I stayed and I waited. They deserve that.
Apparently,
totally
you can
rolled
hear
out
some
after the signatures.
Yeah, apparently you can hear the metal being blacksmithed by Tony Stark from when he was in Iron Man 1 in the cave at the end of the movie. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Like, damn, more feels.
More feels. Little hints to our dear friend Tony Stark, Iron Man. But look, thank you so much, Alicia Kingston, and thank you so much, Fandom D Saint, for coming on my very small channel, The Fat Dingo. And I do appreciate you guys taking a couple of hours out of your Saturday evening to hang out with me and discuss things that I enjoy. I'm always happy to work with you guys on our little projects, and we love our horror movies, and BBO and I love our Funko Pops, and there's all sorts of things that we can collaborate on, and I look forward to doing that again in the future. I'll let you once again just quickly give yourselves a plug and say goodnight. And as always, ladies first.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here. Always hanging out with you guys. I hope that we can do it again for further movies and TV shows and whatnots. Again, Lord Commander AK, you'll find me in chat rooms for almost anyone that's talking about Game of Thrones, because I love the Thrones. You give me a sub if you want. I'm on my channel. I'll be doing live reactions for the remainder of the Game of Thrones series. We got 3 more episodes to go. 3 long episodes, I believe. I think we're getting extra like 10, 15 minutes on these last episodes here. So looking forward to that. If you like to chat during the episode and you don't have anybody to chat with, swing by my channel, jump in the chat room, and we'll talk. Yeah, again, you can catch me in streams. I'm always around, and I appreciate you having me on, Andy. It's been fun.
Thank you. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on my channel. And yeah, once again, thank you so much. Fandom, please give yourself a little plug and say goodnight to the people that have been listening.
Starters, thank you for having me on. Andrew talking with the lovely AK, the Lord Commander, aka the one with the fedora, aka the one who gives 0 fucks about the 100, because what they did to our girl Alexa, hashtag
Mahita deserves better.
Yes, the one who gives 0 fucks about those kids, because hell, children of the corn. They taught us. Don't mess with those kids now. But yeah, it was great talking to you guys about, Avengers Endgame there. And hey, I'm Phantom D saying if you want to head over to my channel, do like several reactions to shows like, what is it, Game of Thrones, to Supernatural, Gotham,
Cloak and
Legacies,
Dagger.
Marvel Cloak and Dagger. Yes. And other shows as well, Once again, thank you for having me.
Oh, speaking of which, actually, random prediction, since Feige has been like culling all of the Marvel shows because the Disney streaming service is going to be starting soon. What do you think about Cloak and Dagger actually becoming a part of the Young Avengers, BBM? Do you think
I
that
would like
fits?
that, honestly. I would love that, honestly.
Because of how young they are, I think it would work.
It would.
Except
it
after
really
this
would.
last episode, damn it. This one had me in my feels, but we ain't gonna go into that because we're at the end of the stream. It was just a thought. I had to get it out there. Go ahead, Andy. Sorry.
That's all right. So yes, very much on the hype train for the Young Avengers and the possibilities of what's coming around the corner in the MCU. So we will be back again for other collaborations. I know we're getting together with Lav for Stephen King's It Chapter 2 later in the year. So I'm sure there will be some major movies out before that you'll see our faces again. And once again, thank you, AK, and thank you, David. It's been a great time, and thank you anyone that's tuned in to listen. We really appreciate it. I'm the Fat Dingo, and I hope to see you in the next one. And if not, you better have a bloody good excuse, mate. Cheers.
Like to
Bye.
deserve better.